All right. I said I was going to try and get that done quickly, but I did want to at least go back and talk about this one aspect of it. Spend a little more time on the last two parts here, search and uh, and how these technologies really apply to IT. So what I was trying to talk through is it's not just the people in at home using search to you know do things that they want. This is something that is incredibly important for the business itself. So, think about how the fact that every business has these intranets set up, right? So you've got a lot of uh, processing that you've been able to sort of move into sort of a self-service environment from a business because of the ability to search across your own records. So a big business has a bunch of processes, a bunch of documentation, a lot of things out there, and knowing how to get to all that stuff typically requires some people to channel you through. With an effective implementation of search and the democratization of all of your data within the business to the employees of the business, you can really effectively reduce the amount of cost associated with providing people with the information that they need. You can still do role-based authority. You can still do access privileges to particular documents, but with an effective search technology, you don't necessarily have to organize all the data into the places where it needs to be, or figure out methodologies to, without copying the data, give access privileges. Enterprise search, effectively done, can accomplish that. So it's about finding information within your organization, recommendation engines, present information to the users without requiring an active search. So when you start to look at a question about how you do something in a hiring practice, let's say, if you're a manager, it can return things that probably make a lot more sense than what you actually asked because you just used the wrong words. And then search engine marketing then from the external perspective allows you to say, all right, if I'm being searched, how do I take advantage of that to give consumers of my business the information that I want them to have? Okay. And so think about that in terms of, again, you're internally employing search technologies to make your business more effective. You're also externally employing technology in order to give yourself a competitive advantage. Social media then is sort of the end run of all this stuff. It is a personification of that business to consumer relationship. Okay, when you creating an internet is no longer a side job. What you've got is that ability to tie to your consumer directly to their personal device, understand their behavior, communicate with them in ways that they find most effective. Okay, because of all the standards that we've talked about up until now, and be able to use those platforms to uh, 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 engage both internally and externally. So we've thought about that. We've talked about that in terms of storefronts and how people use devices and such to get after your business. And you, as the IT, have to be able to service that, to deliver through search the information that you want them to have, to have the infrastructure to be able to support the business to consumer relationship that you want to have. And then internally as well, social media becomes something that's very effective for the business. So when we as a business want to communicate with a bunch of employees, the best way to do that is in the way that your employees are accustomed to getting their information, instead of forcing them down a different path. This all lends towards better information sharing, better knowledge sharing, synchronous communications, and content sharing. Okay, so what they call folksonomy, but basically everything that you used to just know from a business, now we know where to get that and we know how to deliver it. Externally, you get the blogs, Twitter, mashups, all the social monitoring, all those things that we talked about that give you an understanding of your consumer's strength, where they're interested, what their passion is, their level of interest in something based on the level of activity, sentiment, positive or negative, and then reach, being able to get to just the broadest set of people that we can in order to push the business forward. Social media is key for both internally making ourselves more effective and externally for growing the competitiveness of the business. So concluding this in the last conversation, this is what we're talking about. New data sources. Now we have all these sources across the globe we can get at. How do we use them, and how do we make decisions on how to use them so that we most effectively apply the limited resources that we have in IT into the situations and the areas and the opportunities that'll make the biggest difference to the company. New data technologies. Those are the things that are enabling all of this. What we didn't talk about is that these are, continually evolving too. So it's not just a matter of being able to bring to the all of the social media and the search and all these things together. We have to be building an infrastructure that is flexible and adaptable. So the next thing that comes along will be able to fit into the environment, or we'll be able to adapt into it based on the standards that have been brought forward up until now. New opportunities to gain a competitive advantage are always going to be out there, and as an IT strategy, we need to be able to take advantage of those.